Hi, welcome to part 4 of the lesson Honoring Our Ancestors. This lesson accompanies the Ann Simpson Artmobile exhibition At Work and at Play. My name is Sarita Telasani Keller. I'm the Artmobile educator at the University of Wyoming Art Museum, and this is my daughter.
Hi, my name is Lila Keller, and I'm in 3rd grade, and I'm about to go into 4th grade.
Yeah, she is, and she just had her birthday, so we have our birthday decorations up. Happy birthday. So an ancestor is anybody that you've descended from, like a parent, a grandparent, or a great-grandparent, or it could be any elder that's passed their wisdom on to you.
It can also be a foster parent, mentor, or a teacher. It can really be anybody who inspires you.
That's right. And so for the sake of our lesson, we're calling all of these people ancestors. So today we're going to add visual story elements that go around our portraits. You'll need a pencil and eraser. You'll need whatever paper you can find.
Copy paper, construction paper, nice thick paper.
Any kind of paper that you want to do your visual story elements on. And then you'll also need a piece of cardboard. If you decided to do yours on a small piece like this and there's not enough room around it, you'll need a piece of cardboard to go behind it. And I just found some on the back of my kid's coloring book, my little kid, younger than her, he's only 4. And then I just cut it out and put it so that there was enough space to go around this portrait. See? You'll also need your stories and memories that you've been collecting about your ancestor. So Leela's been keeping hers in her journal here. And then you'll also need the portrait you created last week. And it's okay if it's not completed, but we'll need to see it just to figure out how to create our story elements to go around it. So in my last post, we drew a portrait together, and we also explored some simple ways to do a portrait using a photocopy. And I asked you to practice your portrait drawing until you were satisfied. So today we're going to talk about options for shading and coloring. And if you choose to, you don't have to. And also we're going to choose 4 to 5 story elements that we're going to talk about how to turn them into visuals today. Shading and coloring. You don't have to color in your portrait, but if you choose to, there are many ways to do this, depending on the paper you use. If you chose a heavy paper, you could try watercolor or some other wet media to color, as opposed to a lighter, smoother paper like copy paper, which would buckle, wrinkle, and possibly tear. If you are using copy paper, you may want to stick to graphite pencil or colored pencils. You could also give your portrait a graphic novel quality by using markers. This works best if you have a wide range of colors. I did not have enough marker colors, so I actually used a combination of markers and colored pencils in this example. Options for adding story elements. If you used a large paper surface to create your portrait, you may have room around your portrait to add visual story elements directly to your paper. If you used copy paper, like I did last week, you can mount the portrait to cardboard using a little glue on the edges of your paper. Then cover the surrounding space with your story visuals. Be sure to continue to fill the entire exposed cardboard with layers of images. Here are some helpful tips if you choose to do yours this way. Size the cardboard to a standard frame size if you would like to hang your picture when it is completed. This cardboard is cut to 11 by 17 inches. Lay the picture and board next to you while you make your story visuals. Draw your story visuals on separate pieces of paper. Try different ways of arranging them around your portrait. Do not cut around your pieces until you figure out your arrangement. You want illustrations to go all the way up to the edge of your board, so cut accordingly. Once you're satisfied, use a glue stick and double-sided tape to fix everything into place. Remember to cover up all of the exposed cardboard space. Now let's talk about turning stories into visuals. You are to choose 4 or 5 to illustrate in your portrait. So Leela, tell us about some of the stories that you chose and how you've made them into illustrations.
I chose some teacups and saucers because we did a lot of tea parties. I am thinking to do some beads on a hook because she stole the rosary when she was really, really little. And I made a cake because she did really good baking. And a vase of azaleas because she had really pretty azaleas.
Yeah, okay, neat. And then you had also talked about maybe putting some Victorian Valentines around, because she really loved those a lot too. And she was always ready for every holiday. So here's one that I'm working on, and I did it differently. So Leela has hers on this board here, but this is just her mock-up, because she's actually doing another portrait. So like I said, if you're not finished, but you at least know the size, you can start working on that. But I did mine on a larger piece of watercolor paper, and I'm still working on mine too. But I did the portrait in the middle, and then I had room around so that I could add different elements. And so I've added rice fields, because I come from a rice farming family. And I put a rice crop here too. So my mother grew up in that kind of family. But then when she came here, she learned electrical design, so I have circuits coming out of here. And I'm also going to be still adding more things around here directly to the portrait. And I did mine, like I said, in watercolor. So I had to use a heavier paper too. So whatever way you choose to do it, it's going to be great. So I guess work on those for next week, and we'll see you then, where we put it all together and I show you how to submit, or we'll talk about submitting your ancestor story too. Thanks for watching.
Bye.